legacy project?
My junior legacy project is implementing site-based teams at our main service sites for the Stetson Bonner program. Site-based teams are a reorganization of the way that the Stetson Bonner program works with our community partners. It makes it so that the people who run our service sites don't need to be as involved with our Bonner students. We still obviously want them to have that connection and stuff, but it allows our Bonner students to step forward as leaders within their service sites and to really empower their service sites to do things that are beyond the day-to-days, such as training new volunteers or helping people who come in for the services that nonprofit offers. It really just allows the service site itself to become more freed up for time and for bigger and better things, while also allowing our students to become empowered to be leaders.
How did the idea of site-based teams form?
The idea actually came from a fellow Bonner school, Carson Inman, when we did our sophomore exchange last year with them. The way that their organization is structured is they have, I believe it's like 6 to 10 service sites that they all work at, and at each service site there is a Bonner student that is the sort of leader of that service site. So the other Bonner students come to that leader and ask them questions about the site and get the availability and how to properly be prepared to work at that site. And it allows the people who actually run that nonprofit to have more freedom to move within the community and creating more relationships and not getting bogged down with the everyday tasks, because that's
My name is Amber Finicum-Simmons, and I work at the Neighborhood Center of West Volusia, which is a food pantry and shelter for both those who are newly homeless and those who are transitioning back into a normal rental lifestyle. We also provide utility and rent assistance, as well as toiletries, and essentially any major service that those in poverty in the DeLand community need.
How do you think being a site-based leader will empower you at the Neighborhood Center?
Honestly, I feel that being a site-based leader validates all of the work I've done at the Neighborhood Center in the past 2 years. When I came to the Neighborhood Center, I was essentially the only volunteer. I learned everything from the ground up because the other 2 volunteers were seniors, so they weren't around very often. So I kind of I was just thrown into the pool, if you will, and had to learn everything on my own. So I feel that by being a site-based leader, I can give a lot of good information and advice to new volunteers who are coming in.
How do you think being a site-based leader will improve your service site?
The Neighborhood Center has always been one of those sites that everyone can just go to whenever they want. And while that's great because it's a flexible service site, it also means that we're often unorganized. So I think by employing a site-based team full of students, it will greatly improve the organizational skills of the Neighborhood Center, as well as honestly bringing us into the 21st century. We have a lot of older volunteers who are wonderful and are so nice to the clients, but they're not up to speed on technology. They're not very quick moving either. So I think by having a lot of students at the Neighborhood Center, it's going to make everything much more efficient and allow us to better serve our clients.
Continue in the future.
Well, the whole idea behind site-based teams is that they're sustainable and renewable. So with the comings and goings of the site-based leader, they would, in theory, train another Bonner student to act as that site-based leader for when they leave. So it's constantly just feeding back into itself and allowing students to become empowered and to really step up as a leader within their service site.